Hello and welcome to Is It Hot in Here? Today I'm talking to the actress Sally Lindsay, who is at the height of her career. She's never been in any more demand than she has now, at a time that other women are finding that they're becoming increasingly dismissed in the workplace. I hope that you enjoy listening to this as much as I enjoyed talking to her. Sally, thank you so much for joining me today.
Very, very welcome.
So tell me about what you're doing at the moment.
Okay, so at the moment I've just flew back from Malta. So I co-write and I created a thing called the Madame Blanc Mysteries, which is a cosy crime, they call it nowadays. We used to call it murder mystery, but it's called cozy crime for the kids now. And it's, so we did 4 seasons and we've just done a Christmas special. It's a 90-minute film this year. So I co-produce it and I co-write it and I created it and I played the lead in it. So I do everything in it really. So it's a real passion project for me, and was just so thrilled that it's keeping going. So it does really well. It's on Channel 5 and also on this July it goes on the Round the World Series 4. So yeah, we keep on making it. So that's the thing I'm up to at the moment.
It sounds like a lot of work.
It's
being
a lot
the
of work.
Producer, the writer and
yes,
the actor.
Yes, it is. The actor bit is great because that's the bit when you can relax into it because you've done all the producing and the notes and the everything. It is a huge thing, I've got to say, but it is a wonderful thing. I've got the most amazing team, and I write with my friend, which is great. There's just me, just 2 women write it all.
Oh, brilliant! And is it unusual for women to be in that position whereby in your industry whereby you are the actor, the writer, the producer? How does it?
I think it is pretty unusual, to be fair, and I think it's less unusual for men. But I've taken over Tenable before. I've done Pointless, presenting that, and so I've done lots of different things, and I think it's quite unusual for ladies to do that, and not because there's not a million brilliant, talented people out there. It's just because they would rather give the opportunity to men. They sort of consider them safe hands. So if you look at game show hosts or, they're usually men, unfortunately.
And when you say safe hands, why do you think that is?
It's a ridiculous situation because, obviously there's so many talented, not saying there's loads of game show hosts that are women, but it mainly is seen as a male prerogative. You can ask me that question, I have no idea. Having said that, dramas going back to when I created Scott and Bailey many years ago with my friend Saran Jones, we were told it took 6 years to get made, that show, which was massively popular, and it took 6 years because they wanted a male lead in it and there wasn't one. It was 2 women coppers. Now that's completely normal, which is fantastic, but that was probably 20 years ago now. So a female lead in a drama now is not unusual at all, which is great. Backstages, so even so I write the show with Sue. There's only 14% of female writers do primetime TV, which is a complete disgrace. And and it should change because 50% 14, because 50% of soap writers are women, which is the hardest thing. Writing a soap, writing a serial drama is really difficult, and 50% are women. And then for some reason it does not translate to British television, which does in America it's a lot better. It's getting better, don't get me wrong, but I think people just rely on the same writers that have been writing for years, and obviously there's geniuses like Sally Wainwright and they're on all the time, but yeah, it is really depressing.
Do you think it's improving?
For me, yeah, I think it is improving. Don't get me wrong, but I do feel that we could be actively better. I think women. It's easy, So when you're in a Zoom meeting, how do I put this? There is a lot of shouty young men who literally have no idea how to make a television programme, but have a tiny bit of knowledge, so feel they are. Whereas women, intrinsically always feel that they need to know everything 100% to do stuff, and you don't. And that would be my message to young women in television. Just have a go. Be as shouty as those young men on the Zooms. It's happening, don't get me wrong, there's loads of brilliant female producers. But another thing that happens, you get to young women in television, get to sort of 30, childbearing age, they have children, and then the elephant in the room is childcare, because women are meant to be able to do everything, aren't they? And we're meant to be able to do everything, but we can't. We have to have childcare, and it's so expensive, and you're not paid a lot at that level in television. So unless you've got like an amazing husband like me, where we split everything down the middle, it's not even a thing.
Do you find that you lose a lot of talent?
Yeah,
and then they just don't
talent,
and they
just
don't come back.
Because once they come back, and it's they can come, they're going to school and everything. The industry has moved 7 years ahead, and it's beyond recognition. So if you've left that for 6 years to bring your kids up, you're like, where is this place? Where is this? Because it's unrecognisable. Even in a year, it's unrecognisable. It's moving that fast.
And so they just don't go back to work.
I went back. The boys were 5 months. My twins were 5 months when I went back. Because if I hadn't gone back then I'd have missed the boat. Yeah. And that would have been it. That would have been the end of my career. And that wasn't a possibility. I didn't want that possibility. So yeah, it's been a challenge. But I've been very lucky.
Do you think something similar happens in kind of midlife, kind of late 40s, early 50s, when when women and
roles
and career and
definitely. This is when I started writing roles for myself for that exact reason, because if you're not on the casting list for 50-year-old women, you will never get any work, because there's never anything written for them, even though I think it's the most interesting part of life. So in the Madame Blanc Mysteries, we actively have women that are over 50 in it. Mid-40s, over 50. Jean, my character, plays a bit younger than me. But yeah, we have, because I'm 52 this year, and we actively have characters of that age and use actresses of that age and older. And we have probably, I'd say 65% women in it, and it's so much more interesting because of that for me. And that's just my thing. Because I know actresses of a certain age have said, so when you get to sort of the end of your 40s, they stop casting you as mothers, and it's till the end, you get to the end of your 50s before they start casting you as grandmas. So it seems to be nothing there, not you and yourself just being an active, brilliant person. Children has got to define you.
It's all defined by that.
Children have got to define you. Your husband's got to define you. It's absolutely, it's like I said, it's changing. But that's why I was adamant to write stuff for myself. And fortunately, Madame Blanc Mysteries has really hit with women like me,
So do you lose women out of their careers in their like late 40s and early 50s?
I think we do. I think they are. I don't think it happens to men as much. No. I think it's happening to men a bit, because there's a lot of television which is obsessed by the youth audience and driving the youth audience and driving the equivalent of iPlayers to get them back to because that's the only way they make money. And there is a bit of an obsession with that. But I feel that, for me personally, and I think Madame Blanc has proved that, there is a huge audience that is still there for us, and they're the ones with the money as well. I think it's really short-sighted.
It doesn't really make any sense,
no, it
does
doesn't.
it?
No,
because,
it really doesn't.
I mean, I don't know what viewing stats are like, but I would have thought that women of that age would make up a significant
they do. They watch my show. I love them.
Yeah. But
they pay the mortgage.
Why wouldn't we be catering to their...
I think, don't get me wrong, I think there are programmes there for them, but I think there is a big obsession with the youth.
And so what about how kind of perimenopause and menopause fits into all of this? Do you think that's relevant, or do you think that's a kind of just a coincidence? Or
what, that I've gone... do you mean in what I'm doing now?
No, sorry, I meant in terms of women and roles not being cast... for them, or...
I think it's a general thing of I think it's more to do with you identify as a mother or as a grandmother on television, as opposed to an individual who's never had any kids, or an individual who is a doctor, or who is a a general in the army. Don't get me wrong, those roles they're being made, but normal casting in characters is like, well, who's she married to? Who are her kids? Do we have to mention that she's childless? I mean, it's mad. It's mad.
And that just doesn't happen with male
not
roles.
at all. I mean, I had to. Jean has purposely, my character in Madame Blanc, has no kids by choice. And I've mentioned it once in the first series, and that's it, because I think it's the least interesting thing about her. The fact that she's an antiques genius is the interesting thing. And that's my little rebellion about that. I never mention, I've got a lot of characters who are of colour, they're in same-sex relationships, and I, again, never mention it because I think it's the least interesting thing about them. Women with perimenopausal and menopausal, we mention the menopause in it all the time.
Oh, brilliant.
All the time. So we're always having a flush. Or there's one character, Judith, who plays, she's played by the brilliant Sue Holderness. And she always makes out that she never had a menopause. It's like a joke, like women of a certain age in their 70s pretend they've never had it. But they were just probably either pissed or on Valium and just got through it. They definitely had it. So we have that character, which is a real prominent character with women. But they were always having flushes. They were always having, having a meltdown or whatever. And yeah.
And do you think, I'm just kind of racking my brains now to think whether I've kind of noticed it in it. I mean, I'm not a massive TV watcher, but is it mentioned much in other? Well,
there's a brilliant new series called The Change, which is all about it.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's by, I think it's Bridget Christie's name is. She's absolutely brilliant. She wrote just a series, it's on its second series now. It's just about the menopause, and it's all about that time of your life, and also. That brilliant point. There is brilliant things about menopause is you do give a monkey, you don't give a monkeys a lot, which sometimes is not great in meetings because you just get so bored of people talking bollocks, and you just go, right, can we just cut to the chase, please? But then in other ways, it's great because you just don't suffer fools anymore. Like I hardly go out to any awards or anything like that anymore. I really don't. It's got to be something I really am dedicated about because I don't care about that.
But time is precious, right? It's
extremely precious, and also you get to an age where, and I think it is my perimenopausal head, because I think I'm still perimenopausal, and I think it's just like I used to be so worried about people's opinions and people's, God, I need to be at this party, I need to meet this person, I need to be doing this, and now generally I just get on with it and get my head down and write it and see if it sticks.
And I guess that is a privilege of being just older, wiser, more experienced, kind of.
I think there's a bit of the menopause in there as well, because you just go, it's really weird, isn't it, the menopause? I mean, before I contacted you, I knew something was going wrong. I could feel it going wrong in my head because I've always been quite a confident person, always been very happy in my own skin. And I could feel this real big anxiety looming, and my skin was itching, and I couldn't finish a sentence, and because of people like Davina and talking about it, and because of my friends going through it, I knew what to do. I knew I had to do something right. I knew what it was. I could identify it. It wasn't me. I wasn't going mad. Now, my grandma died of Alzheimer's, and she got it at 60. So it's a constant fear in our family. And at one point, I thought it was that. I thought it was early onset because it's such similar symptoms, as you know so well. And I thought it was that. But then when I came to you and had my interview, because I'd been to 2 male doctors before, one GP, one NHS, and one I paid for. And they both said to me, you can't because you're still having periods. You cannot be going through the perimenopause. Just a complete lie. As you said to me on the first meeting, that is a complete lie. You are definitely in perimenopausal. You have been perimenopausal since you were 35 and started losing estrogen. That is what it is, And once I knew that, I was like, such a relief. So I've got to say, personally, thank you so much because, it's life-changing. It is life-changing. It's life-changing out there. Because once you know what it is and once you get, and I said, I'm going to Malta in 2 days and I'm going for 10 weeks. Don't worry, we'll get them over to you. And then I started, and within 3 months, I could finish a sentence again. And what's the wonderful thing about your brain as a female brain, my line learning and my work never really affected that. It must be compartmentalising, it's another part of my brain. But my active brain that was just day-to-day life, that was the bit that was affected so badly. And the fact that I couldn't get to the end of a sentence, I'd go, oh, that's a nice, isn't that a lovely big, I couldn't say.
Yeah.
It was a television.
It's really interesting you say that. I was talking to somebody, I can't remember who it was, whether it was, I think it was last week, where they were saying exactly the same thing. Because we always talk about impact of perimenopause and menopause on work. But I think women are so good. They kind of put all of their effort into protecting that real higher functioning cognitive ability. And then it's the other stuff that falls by the wayside.
Absolutely.
Like you'll do everything that you can at work. And then by the time you get home, it's like, can you turn on the, and can you get there, and can you do that? And
going to shops and buy the wrong thing. And I was like, it was crazy. And the anxiety was crippling. So you'd wake up in the night and I literally thought the world was ending. And I didn't suffer. I mean, I do have a little flush now and again. And I've seen myself on screen, had one. It's interesting, the Christmas special of, not this Christmas, the last Christmas before of Madame Blanc, all the way through the denouement. So she solves a crime and she goes around all the suspects, a bit like Poirot, And I could see a rash coming up, but I thought, no, don't fake it. Don't paint it out.
Yeah.
Because it's real. It's happening. Jeannie's having a flush. It's fine. It's real. Let's not paint it out. Let's not paint this out of British television. So you can see me having a flush coming up, and I've kept it in. I didn't go again and paint it out. And I don't paint it out at all because I have them all the time. But I don't suffer night sweats like some of my friends have done, which is great in a hot country. It's not great because Sue Vincent, who I write with, she had terrible ones, and she was in a hot country as well. So we had she had a nightmare. So all those things are really important to put on television. But you're absolutely right about the cognitive thing. Like I could always learn my lines. I never got my lines wrong, and I could always write. So, it was all the other things that got left behind, really.
If you're enjoying this conversation so far, please do press the follow button on whatever platform you're listening on. Please do share it with a friend who you think would benefit too. What do you think would have happened had you had to kind of muddle on through?
Oh, God. I can't even
Because
think
probably
of
that would have happened 10 years ago, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, easily. I'd have probably gone on antidepressants. I don't think I would have thought it was that. Because I wouldn't have known that or I'd have gone for Alzheimer's tests. I don't know what I'd have done. I think, because I was so aware of it. And I've got friends who are a little bit older than me as well, sort of 10 years older, who'd gone through it. I think I would have gone, but I don't know. I can't, it would have been horrific. I think I would now. I feel, and my husband feels as well, we forget about the partner you live with and they're going, who is this person and where have you put my wife? I think he, is extremely thankful of it. And because when you explained it to me back then, it's literally all we had before, but we're just putting it back.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't think women understand. I think they're on, I was always crazy. I was always cray-cray because I'm bound to be, because I'm an actress. Who becomes an actress? It's ridiculous and it's nonsense to pretend to be other people. And then you meet people and you meet people for 5 minutes and then you have to be stark naked in a bed with them. And
I don't know how you
exactly.
do that.
It's mental. It's nothing to me. It's rubbish. You don't look forward to it. You go, you can be doing a scene then go, did you go to drama school with her? Because I'm sure I knew you from... No, I went to Central. And literally you'll have that conversation and you're completely stark because we've got a gene missing or something. I don't know what's... We must be mad to do what we do and to sort of cry on a second or laugh on a second and do it over and over again. It's a very strange job. So I know I'm of a level of mentalness anyway, or whatever it is, that I get to do it. But just to get back to my own level of mentalness is just the most magical thing. So I can feel, don't get me wrong, some days I get, the one thing that is a bit of a hangover still, even though I know I'm on the right dose, so don't worry about it, it's not not going to go into, well, I think it's a bit,
we can do it. Yeah, we can
no,
do.
I'm absolutely happy, but I do think I still have days of anxiety, but I think that's just, I'm all right because I know what it is, and I can talk to it. I can talk to the anxiety, and I can say to you know what this is. Write it out. It's fine. It's because of this, and I think, and it's not often. So I wouldn't change anything.
Is it because of something situational, or is it because of just that's how you feel
I think
intrinsically?
sometimes I wake up and it's like I said, it's very, since I've been on the HRT, it's very unusual. It would happen nearly every day before I went on it. It was like there was a big part in the day where I'd be like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't think I can write this anymore. It's ridiculous. Of course I can. I've just written 4 series. Of course you can, you idiot. You've done it for years. I don't know if I can remember these lines. Yes, you can. This is what all you do. But it was really my brain telling me that I couldn't do stuff, which I found impossible. So do get that a little bit. That little demon comes in now and again. And I think that is menopause.
That must be horrible.
It is horrible. But I swear to God, it's so... With the HRT, it's so easily dealt with. And it's very unusual that it comes now.
Did you feel like you lost yourself, and then did HRT kind of bring it back? Is that?
I felt that. I think I got it in time. I think I found you in time, and because you were recommended to me by a friend, and I found you in time because I'd gone to these 2 doctors knowing that something was wrong, and I'd been rejected, and I'm thinking, well, okay, but I still knew. Because I knew the story of so many women had been rejected and they've had to literally start crying in consultants' rooms and in doctors' rooms going, please, can you do something about it? I won't mention any names, but a very dear friend of mine literally had to break down and just say, you've got to do this because I know exactly what it is. Because this is the research, and she'd done all the research, and they were sort of like scurried her away and put her on, and within 3 months she was fine. Within 2 months she was fine. And I think it's a disgrace that we have to go that far to get clearly what we need. And that's it's unforgivable, because you're losing half your workforce to this not easily solved, but this solvable problem.
But it isn't. I mean, I can't remember when I first saw you, but
it's how 2 many years ago now.
But so it's not. It's, and I don't think things have changed massively since then. And we still do see it, like, fairly typical symptoms. I mean,
you said you've got them all. They're totally typical. Like tick, 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 and I said exactly the same thing to these 2 doctors, and they were like, yeah, but that's just, you get to... I'm like, no, it's that, isn't it? I knew it was. So when I found you, and then you were like, yeah, absolutely, this is what I'm going to start you on, this, see how it goes. And it was tricky at the start when I first put the first patch on. It was... because I went on 25, and then can I say all this? Is that all right?
Yeah. It's totally up to you. Yeah.
So I went on 25, and so I'm on 50 now, estradiol, and I'm on the estrogen. I don't think you say it like that, but that's the one it is.
The Utrogestan.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm on the other stuff as well, the internal stuff, which is unbelievable. So I'm on it all. I'm not on testosterone yet, but I'm saving that for when... like my bingo card. Christmas, yeah, when I need it. But I've got a mate who's on that, and she said, she's Scottish, said, you'll have to take it out of my cold dead hands now. It's amazing. And I was like, well, I'm all right now. So I'm just happy in what I'm so level in what I'm on. I'm like, if anything changes, I'll just come back to you and we'll have a look at it, but at the moment it's just really lovely. So I went on the 25, and I remember the day I went up to 50, and I think I was just so giddy with it all because it was working. I went up to the 50, and I remember going on set, and I didn't know what was going on. I was just like, and I looked at he's one of my best mates as well, but it happens to be my love interest on there is my TV husband, Steve Edge, and I've known him since Phoenix Nights, since like 26 years, so he's in proper old mate. And he went, "You all right?" And I went, "I think I've gone up a patch, I shouldn't." And he went, because I said, "Because I don't know who I am or what I am or where I am." But you said leave it for a few weeks, and I didn't. I left it for a month. Said it's probably 2 months. You need to really give it your chance, and then just try when you're in a relaxed space. I wasn't in a relaxed space. I was an idiot. I was literally leading a show that was actually mine, and I decided to go up a patch because I thought I've nailed this hormone thing. And then anyway, I just took it off, went back to 25, and did it like you told me to.
But you probably just wanted to get there as quickly as possible, and some people can. Some people can. It
I remember that feeling. I thought, God, these are powerful. These things. You've got to respect them, and you've got to treat them with absolute, the respect and honour. And I do now. So I'm
I've
fastidious.
never heard anybody talk
I know,
about them that.
It's life changes, isn't it? So I'm fastidious. I put them in my day. I know exactly when I change them and exactly what pills I've got to take every 14 days. I'm very respectful of them because they're so important to me.
Oh, I'm just so pleased that we managed to,
You
to sort you out.
That's why I'm here on
and
this
it's
podcast
just...
to say thank you.
Oh, thank you. But it's just so distressing how, people can not just paths cannot cross, and they can end up not being.
I don't know how women are surviving without it. I mean, if they're going, there's some women I know genuinely have not had any symptoms as bad. It's just not happened. It's just, they've just gone, well, it was a bit weird, but I'm all right now. And that's happened to a couple of my friends actually that have just not gone. They didn't need to.
Yeah.
But it actually, they are the massive minority. So the friends who have, literally, there's not what I've got a group of mates at home in Manchester, and all of us are on different versions. The gels or the patches or whatever, all on different. We're all on it. It was so funny. We went on a girls' weekend and we were like, because we were just taking carry-ons. And they tried to take, said, you need to put it in a different bag. And we were like, don't even start. We were going through the customs and we went, don't even start. This is going through, whether you like it or not. We all had different versions of it. It was hilarious.
It's every summer, the same thing comes up. It's like, all of a sudden everybody panics about what bags they can take. What's going to happen if your bag gets lost? What happens if it goes in the hold? What's going to happen when you get to customs? What countries you can go into? Which countries you can't? What would happen if you got there and it was taken off you? Could you get it there? I mean, it's ridiculous. Though,
I know where to get Estrogen in Malta, just in case. I found out this pharmacy that does it because I know if I cannot do my job without it, and so I know exactly where to get it if anything happens or it gets lost in or whatever. But I carry it with me. So I carry it, and it sounds like I'm some sort of addict, but I'm not. But it's just so important to me. And because I've got asthma as well, you see, so I'm quite good at medication. I've had asthma since I was 7. So I've always had to have a pump with me at all times because I've got quite bad asthma. And it's an absolute... So I'm good at knowing, right, okay, where do I get, I find a pharmacist, where do I get the pump from? And now I do exactly the same. It's so important. And I can imagine... women going, well, I can't go there because if it's lost, I'm not going on holiday there. If I can't find a chemist who can get it, it's not happening.
And even in the UK now, people can't get hold of their, well, particularly their Estradiol patches, and they're left. Some people, if they've tried gels and tried sprays, and patches are the only things that work for them. It's awful. I mean, the stress that it causes in 2025.
It's just ridiculous. It's like a life-giving thing. It's half the population and half the workforce, the mothers, why? It's literally... It sounds awful, this, and sorry for the men in this room, and it's not you, and I'm sure you're all wonderful, and I've got wonderful men too, and it's not all men, I know that. But I swear to God, if this was happening to men, there'd be an Estrogen shop on every corner of every street.
There's a vape shop on every corner of every street, isn't there?
There'd be a HRT shop with every single variety. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Which one do you want?
Vending machines.
On every corner of this country. Of every country.
Yeah.
And it's because it's women, and brilliant pioneers like you have brought it to our, because I remember you saying it is still like we've just landed on the moon and we're just looking around, but we see this sort of works. The amount of funding that should be going into it it's just ridiculous. It just drives me insane.
Yeah.
Doctors not even. Did they get any modules at university now? Has that changed?
It has. I think it has changed a bit, but I'm not sure if it's compulsory or not. I think that's kind of
just
just
ridiculous.
But there's been but so since I first saw you, I think there's been almost like a step backwards. There's been it's not as it's a funny landscape. Yeah, I mean, I think there's almost like a backlash against it. I think people maybe are a bit bored
of hearing about women going on about the menopause.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame. What a pity. It's because it's happening, and if you want a happy life and you want a happy society, then surely, it's fundamental, isn't it?
Just out of interest, the friends of yours who sailed through it, what are their attitudes towards those of you who have not?
They've been really brilliant.
Right.
I've got to say, it's two friends I've had. They've been really brilliant and thinking, I have been waiting for it to happen. They're really acknowledging, they're seeing it around them, but it just hasn't. And I don't quite know why or what or when. I don't know. I mean, mine was, to be fair, quite late, really. And a lot of my friends, I didn't really get any symptoms until I was 50. So 49, 50, I didn't get anything, really. So I thought I'd got away with it. And then my mum said, brilliantly, didn't even know, she went, oh, no. She obviously got through it, didn't she? She's another one that... I think she went on it for a little bit, but it wasn't really talked about. You just got on with it, You had a martini and got on with it. Or a Valium or whatever. And it was sort of like you just didn't talk about it because it was down there below, So I love the fact that we're all talking about it, and I love the fact that everybody mentions it. And surely people are going to get a bit bored with it, I get that. But so what? They get bored with it. But I thought I'd got away with it as well. And I hadn't got away with it at all. But my mum said her periods didn't stop till she was 58.
Right.
So obviously relevant. That's exactly where I should be. I'm exactly the same. So.
It does make sense. But yeah, nowadays you hear about women who report that they haven't had symptoms, and then they are a bit dismissive of women who.
Ah, right. No, I've never experienced that. I've got to say, that's weird.
Yeah, kind of like, well, kind of what you're talking about. I think, yeah, it's all in your head.
That's odd. I've not had that. Really, because to be fair, 90% of my friends have had it.
Yeah.
So they'd feel a bit like all the friends can't be lying, I imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's things that, I suppose 2 years ago, I would have predicted that we would have just carried on getting better and better and better, and that there would be no more of this. You go to your doctor and they say you're still having periods, you can't be perimenopausal. But it's not, the progression has not continued.
I just find that so upsetting, and so upsetting that, because I am quite gobby, and I think people who are not non-confrontational and don't want to live their life like that, it must be so upsetting to go to giving every bit of their courage when they're not thinking straight anyway, just to say, the doctor should say, you need this drug, and this is what I'm going to do. You shouldn't have to break down in a reception like my friend just to get seen, should you?
I know. It's still happening. So we have some questions from listeners, and the first one is from Barbara, who says, during my 40s, I've really hit the peak of my career, and I'm the most successful financially and development-wise I've ever been. But with that, I'm spending less and less time with my family, and if anything, I feel like my kids, who are 10 and 16, need me now more than ever. How can I balance both an intense career and an intense family life?
You see, I'm so lucky because I know I've got people that live in the normal world, with the corporate world, where they have to work 9 till 5 or they have to work 9 till whatever every single day. And I get to have... and it's awful, Barbara, because I've got so many mates like you. I really have. And they literally see their kids at weekend and riddle themselves with guilt about it. Whereas I get to film away quite a bit, but then I can write from 10 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't have to go on a windswept sort of, island in the middle of nowhere, and I can write in anywhere. I can write in the garden, not bothered. I can write on the kitchen table, wherever. I'm very practical like that. So I get to, when the kids come home from school at 4, I'm downbeat for a bit, even though my teenagers just grunt at me and go to the bedroom, but, as we know that. But I have a lot of good time with my kids because of that, because I'm self-employed. Having said that, what I would like to say is, don't beat yourself up. We are so guilty, women, of tearing ourselves apart, because what you're showing your children is a strong female lead. You're giving them a really brilliant example. You're giving them an example of someone who's supporting and loving their family. And as long as you can try and carve weekends out as much as you possibly can and make those times the best ever, that's what I try and do. And it's organisation as well. So clearly you're doing really well, so you don't need to tell you. But I've got literally a file of facts. I know you probably don't even know what them. The kids.
So have I.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God for that. Everyone goes, dinosaur. And I go, got a file of facts. And me and my husband, every single Friday, and it sounds really simple, every single Friday we sit down and we do a diary check. And we always put in, right, that time, no, we can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Because it's for the kids. Or we've got the kids thing here, and, it doesn't always work, don't get me wrong. No, I can't do that job because of that. And we keep to it, and we're quite strict about it. And it's such a simple thing to do. And we diary check with the kids as well. But it's such a simple thing to do. But a lot of people don't do it. They just sort of ramble on and carry on. And then all of a sudden it's 3 weeks and they've not had a meal together or whatever. And that doesn't happen. We're quite strict about that, because I know having 2 children, having 2 stepchildren, and I mean, like, I'm a grandma now. So Christabel's had a baby Jackson. So having Curtis and Christabel, and they're grown-ups now, I know how quick it goes. It goes like that. So yes, have your career. I'm going through the same purple patch. I've never earned as much or has been so, in demand on television, which is unbelievable. I'm saying that now, probably touch wood. But yes, even so, you still have to carve that time out. But don't beat yourself up either if it doesn't quite work all the time.
I think we can put such high expectations on ourselves, can't we? And
and it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. You're earning money to feed your kids in a very tough world that a lot of people can't earn any money, and are having a nightmare time at the moment. So you're doing really well.
Yeah. Thank you. And we've got one other question from Helen, who asked, I keep getting the worst anxiety attacks at work. To be honest, I think it's triggered by perimenopause and a fear that I'm going to get brain fog. We were talking about this, weren't we? A brain fog moment in a meeting and embarrass myself. I love my job and I hate that my brain and my hormones are making me lose faith in my abilities. How can I get over this?
Do we know if Helen's on medication?
Doesn't say.
Right, well, if she's not, get on it. That's the first thing. Go
HRT,
for your test, get
HRT.
on it. It's life saving. Also, what I do when, like I said, I still do hit anxiety sometimes. Go through it. Write down what you're anxiety about, what you're feeling anxious about. So if you can, take yourself somewhere else. Write down what you feel you're anxious about. Once you've written it down, you can see it, and then you know it's nonsense. Because that's never happened.
That's a really good tip, actually. We've not even talked about that before, but yeah.
Just write it down, because once you've written it down, it's real then. You can see it, and then you can see how nonsense it is. Because my anxieties are, I can't write a series. I've got to write a new series now. I can't write it. But you've literally just sold 3 to Netflix. You know you can. And it's this character that you're playing. Of course you can. You've done it 4 times,
Does it come in the middle of the night?
Always in the middle of the night. Actually, I had, funny enough, coming here, I don't know, it's because I was thinking about it, I had a bit of one this morning. And I was like, I've got all the time to do everything I need to do. I'm running out of time. And I did the writing down thing. And I got in my office and I wrote down, right, okay, this is this. And I planned it all up. And I calmed myself down. And I had a little breather and I had a little breath. So that's what I would advise Helen to do. Go somewhere, write these things down, focus on the pad, tell yourself, when has this ever happened? No, it's never happened. So what's the likelihood of it happening now? There isn't one. Okay, good. Let's start again. It'll happen again and you'll feel again, It'll be like a totally fresh feeling, but that's how I do it.
That's lovely. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you
was
for my
just
trip here.
lovely.
It's beautiful. Lovely house.
If I didn't manage to answer your question today, or if you have any other questions, then please feel free to follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of educational posts and videos. My handle there is Dr._Naomi Potter, and hopefully you will find the answers to your questions there. Alternatively, on my website, which is menopausecare.co.uk, there is a big information hub, and you should be able to find your answers there as well.